Second quickest man in this session. The 18 of Kyle Busch we're hearing got into the wall, and here it is. How did it happen?
Well, you can see all that debris. We saw that earlier. We saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. committed to the throttle. He went up the racetrack, but he didn't get up quite as high as Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch just out of the groove, and this is what we see with a newer paved racetrack. The outer groove just has no grip.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a little bit of an incident for the 52 of Stuart Friesen into the wall.
Just hopped over the groove a bit, and you can see all the tire debris that's up there. And once you lose that grip, man.
Hey, watch this guy. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low.
Watch this guy. That's a good point.
Yeah, Terry Cook spot for Cody Kaufman.
As he drives into turn one, car is way loose on corner entry. You heard Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He talked about getting loose in the middle of the corner. You see right there, Jimmy got loose on corner entry.
This is stock car and the other's open wheel. We enjoy sharing that information. And here is a regular theme. Look at this. This is now the third car. Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and now Casey Kane.
Way out of the groove again. Whoa. The early part of the corner. This car has hit the wall hard. Marty.
Driving with Carl Long this weekend. Getting just, oh, hang on, Enrique. And that's going to hurt, especially that splitter up front, TJ. Wow.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of repairs to that car before it comes time to race this afternoon.
Race fans, it is time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command from Temperance, Michigan, please welcome United States Marine Corps Master Gunnery Sergeant Jimmy Cowell.
Drivers, start your engines!
I got one right here at all. Hey guys, we're saving fuel all the time.
A couple of veterans and a couple of former champs. On the inside, it's Johnny Sauter, last year's champion, Matt Crafton, the pole winner. On the outside in the bright yellow, we're green and racing at Michigan.
I know Chase Briscoe's plan was try to get in behind that 88 and push him towards the front.
It'll be interesting today on the start of this race here that we've just seen and the restarts throughout the course of the day. Does that inside line, is it able to be competitive, or is the outside line the definite advantage?
What a move by John Hunter Nemechek to try to grab that second spot away from Chase Briscoe. Didn't quite clear him.
Sauter, who started in the front row, and that white truck back to fourth and now slips inside of Nemechek, going for the third spot, while Crafton and Briscoe run 1-2. Oh, Nemechek around. Big hit for John Hunter Nemechek.
Got a going on the inside lane here. Straight right there, straight. Turn right, turn right.
That was a perfect picture of side drafting in the corners. What side drafting in the turns can do to these trucks. Chase Briscoe slid down toward Nemechek. Nemechek was loose and couldn't hang on to
80 miles an hour.
Watch, how does Kyle Busch in that 51 truck miss Nemechek right here? So close.
I mean, you can't teach that, Vince. He just had to trust that at 180 miles an hour, like you said, Phil, he could turn that truck to the left, not get loose and spin out and miss the spinning John Hunter Nemechek.
And probably more than likely, Kyle was aware when he saw the 29 pull down on the quarter panel of the 8 truck that was a good possibility of what might happen.
You can see that gap right there is good, but Briscoe, as he goes through the center of the corner, just gets down close to Nemechek, and Nemechek's truck just wasn't up for that, to be in that position, and around he goes.
And it's not, we're not blaming Chase Briscoe. That's what happens with the air in these trucks here on a high-speed racetrack.
Now there's a chance John Hunter will blame Chase Briscoe, but
probably a good chance.
But the way he entered the corner, Chase just ran through the center of the corner, and when they were exiting, he wound up right down on the side of Nemechek, right there.
Keep coming there. He wrecked in your mirror there. Caution's out. Good job. Kids in.
Chase was pretty fortunate that he didn't get caught up in that. A lot of times that inside truck will take that outside truck with him.
Well, it's been a feast or famine kind of season for John Hunter Nemechek. 6 top 5s, including a couple of wins, but he's also had 6 finishes of 18th or worse this season. This will be his 4th DNF of the campaign, and that is,
look at that truck bouncing.
A lot of damage. Truck Series. A former Cup champion, Chase Briscoe, a rookie in the trucks. How Chase makes that move, where Kyle positions his truck to keep Chase from making the move, all those things coming into play here.
And what I love, he just went to school for 20 laps chasing Kyle Busch, trying to figure out a way around him. Stage 1 is over, couldn't do it. Can he do it when it comes to stage 2 and ultimately winning this race?
Kyle Busch, the stage 1 winner. His 7th stage victory of the season.
Anderson's another issue. You can see as he's coming off pit road, he loses his hood.
He was obviously on pit road for some repairs. They didn't get the hood pins in, and unfortunately, that
hard to
so
see
much
what
damage.
the hood is up.
Yeah, that's what inevitably what happened. He could not see the racetrack, so he just pulled over to the side. But he was so slow, so close to the racetrack that the officials felt like they needed to throw the car.
Get around the turn. Talk to me. Just stay below the line. See. Stay below the line. All right, tell me when to turn. I can't see the line. I can't direct you from here. Just stop, let the caution come out. Get off the track. Ain't no sense to hurry, nothing to gain, so just pay attention.
It's got to be disconcerting from a driver's perspective to not be able to see and know that the track is green and other trucks are zooming by at 190 miles an
Gives
hour.
Matt Crafton a little bit of a bump.
Saw the wiggle from Crafton there as the leaders. Kyle Busch comes through turns 3 and 4, heading toward the line. Kyle Busch going to win stage 2 here at Michigan. 4th time this season that Kyle has swept the first 2 stages of the race. Green at Michigan.
Good start by Haley, but not so much for Enfinger that was behind Haley.
Around goes Cody Coughlin in the 13.
Hang on, Cooper, hang on.
A big hit for Coughlin on that restart. Boy, the restarts are so important. Everybody trying to get position.
99 tried to make it 3 wide and didn't work.
Coughlin had restarted in that 5th spot. Good to see him taking care of his business inside that cockpit, because that was a big hit.
Puts himself in a position to get a great finish again. Did Coughlin, and then had it all go away. Kyle Busch with some damage in that.
On that left front.
Went down pit road anyway.
Yeah, left front looks like it's flat, doesn't it, Michael?
Yeah, and there's the fender's
Come
bit
down
as well.
pit road. Everybody's got to come down pit road. It's blocked up down here.
It will make a lot of progress.
Here's why we're under yellow. Cody Coughlin through the grass and then bang.
Man, that's a serious change of direction, isn't it? Hope Cody's okay. That was a hard hit.
So fortunate. You see, Bubba Wallace was trying to get through the middle. He makes contact with Cody. Fortunately, Cody hits the safer barrier down there on the inside. Thank you to Michigan International Speedway for having that safer barrier there.
How about riding along with Cody Coughlin? This is going to be a jarring ride.
Yeah,
Just outside.
Just trying to move around and take advantage the best he could of that restart. Had dropped off of the truck ahead of him a little bit. Oh, look what.
Hello, go middle. And one outside. Caution's out.
Boy, so thankful the way Coughlin bounced back out into the racing surface area that no one else ran into him as he came back up onto the track.
Yeah, the last truck through there, Norm Benning does a nice job avoiding. You see Norm there with the 6 truck going to the outside.
Watch this.
What an unbelievable concussion.
All 4 tires off the ground with that impact. It's great to see you mentioned, Phil. The white flag out at Michigan. 2 miles left. Who's it going to be?
There's no room up top for Austin.
Cindric loses his positions, and Bell now goes to the inside of Wallace.
Bubba's going to fight back on the outside. Bell got a little bit loose down there.
A mile left. They're on the backstretch. Wallace has gapped Bell a little bit, but here comes Christopher Bell. Gets a shove from Kyle Busch right back to the inside. Through turn 4. Bubba Wallace is going to do it and win at Michigan in his comeback race.
Wow. We said it would be a barn burner, and boy, it was.
That's as good as it gets. Bubba Wallace driving, I guarantee you, 90% of the laps with his eyes in the rearview mirror, watching the competition and just using his instincts to get through the corners. And he held off those huge runs, both by Cindric and by Christopher Bell.
Look at the damage on that right rear of Bubba Wallace. It was full contact racing down the stretch.
It was a bit of a maestro today, wasn't it?
Indeed. What a year for Bubba. I mean, it has been the ups and the downs. As we were saying, the Xfinity team that he was running for shuts down 12 races into the season, sits out for a while, and then gets an opportunity to fill in for Eric Almirola for 4 races in the Cup schedule. And he comes back in his first race back in the truck and wins.
What about this team? Second, third, and first in their last 3 races.
Chris Neville was with the crew chief.
And the crew chief, Shane Huffman, big smile on his face. Shane, talk about those emotions. You guys had that penalty early on, but then your driver had that amazing pass. Talk about those emotions.
Yeah, we actually talked about the pass before the race. You know, trucks get too wide here. It gives you a good, it's almost like a push to pass from behind, and Bubba knew the deal, you know, and he played his cards right. I honestly thought we were a sitting duck with 2 KBM Tundras sitting behind us there, you know, with the big run, but man, Bubba did an amazing job. You know, the kid needs to be in a Cup car. I mean, he's just that good.
And we see Bubba Wallace getting out of the 99 truck. 2017 definitely hasn't been the year that Bubba Wallace planned for back in February. His Xfinity team had to suspend operations in late spring. You subbed in the 43 car, Eric Almirola's car and Cup, but today you get victory in the Truck Series. How sweet does this taste?
Oh, it's burning my eyes right now. It's so good. Oh, God, this is so cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's fine. God, it's been so long since I've been in victory lane, and I try to hold a positive mindset over it, and everybody in my family knows it. Eats at me every day, and emotional victory lane for sure. First time back in 3 years, so it's so cool. Maestro's Classic's coming on board. I'll tell you one cool thing about them. This T right here is a cross, and that's for the man upstairs. It's always in your heart. He's always riding with you. So that was big for them. Their first race got them a win. My first race back. Can't thank them enough. Can't thank New Era enough. PCR engines, it was on fire. We got a little damage there. Apologize to the 13 there. Made a bold move and cost us cost him the 51. Cost a couple trucks there, but man, this is a sweet victory. So I'll take it and then cherish this for sure.
Bubba, you had that penalty early on, but you steadily worked your way back to the front. And talking about bold moves, talk about that move down in turn 3 and 4 for the lead.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I wouldn't have been able to pull that move off if everybody at MDM and Shane Huffman and this crew didn't build this truck the way we needed it to be. And they worked their tails off for this event, and it come about so late. And to see how much heart and passion they throw into this, and I can't thank them enough. It was on rails. You know, we had that little bit of damage, and it was pretty rough in traffic. And as soon as we got out to the lead, it was like, I'll sit back and let Granny Jan take the wheel.
Bubba Wallace gets it done in Michigan. Hermie.
And now for the most famous words in motorsports, today's Junior Grand Marshals Kids Drop NASCAR contest winners, please welcome Peyton Vance and Ellie Grosskopf.
Drivers, start your engine!
All right, we got the command.
Heck yeah, way to go, girls. We're green in Mid-Ohio. Two by two and so tight through the first left-hander, now down to the keyhole, and a long right-hand slow turn under heavy braking.
You can see Elliott Sadler really pushing Sam Hornish there. He really wanted to get clear where he wasn't racing Blake Cook there. Cook slides out a little bit. Looks like Sadler's going to get that second spot.
The blue car Sadler is through. The white number 11 of Blake Cook now looks back to the inside. The fourth place car is the 16 of Ryan Reed. High-speed section through the kink, then down to turn number 4. Boy, you can just see how much they woe it up there, DJ.
Yeah, and there's, you get outside of that dark area that you see in these corners. A lot of that are repaved and they have more grip. You get outside of that and you've really got to hold on. You're not able to get back to the throttle and pick it up as hard as you would like.
To the rhythm section, maybe an upshift and a downshift, one each back through the back part of the course.
Yeah, and this is where things start to get really, really technical. And this is where you'll see the drivers with that road course experience and the understanding of exactly what it takes here not to abuse their car and to stay on track.
You can use the curbs. You don't want to use them too much. And as the cars pass by the pit road entrance this time, the 00 of Cole Custer has been called to pit road. Here's why.
Yeah, I saw from one of our other cameras that we have here that there's a lot of smoke from the 00. As they pointed out, this is a backup car, so they didn't get to do anything there.
Whoa, the 7 of Allgaier got loose, and then the 19 of Tift is off, and Allgaier is off as well and in the sand.
Oh, he was able to keep going there.
An amazing save out of there, especially with as much rain as we had here yesterday.
And he didn't over-push his car. Caution out.
Caution flying now. We're hearing turn 1 may be the issue again. And a car hard into the wall. It is Matt Bell in the 90 who has found the barrier. There it is. Holy cow, wow.
He got all the way through the tires and looked like he even got into the concrete wall before he got up on top of it.
Bell was running 19th before he slid all the way through the sand trap. This is right after they crossed the start-finish line at high speed, probably 3rd gear. Yeah, maybe not hitting 4th, and something did not work well for Matt's car as he went to the left-hander.
Yeah, that has the makings of a throttle sticking or something like that. I would think that even if your brakes quit working right there, you could get it turned and slowed down through the sand trap there. That is extremely hard hit.
Shaheen.
Dave Spotters and your crew chief can help you out of a lot of tricky situations. Watch this moment here, and I'm going to tell you what the crews were saying to Regan as he was getting ready to slide off the racetrack. As he loses the rear end of the car right here, they're saying, get off the brakes, just let it roll, let it roll, let it roll, so it doesn't dig in. Now they said, ease onto the throttle and start backing it up. Don't go forward. Back up. Turn it a little bit here. They just easy talked him all the way through. Turn it now straight, they said. Just go straight, 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 straight. And those sand traps can be really tricky if you don't know what you're doing. And sometimes when you're in the middle of the race, your energy is up, your adrenaline is flowing. Dale, it's very easy to do the wrong thing, like drop it in the wrong gear and hammer the throttle instead of having somebody ease you out like they did for Regan.
Well, we've already seen Brennan Poole make some nice moves.
He's gonna try it again here.
Yeah, boy, it's a risky move right here.
Gets into Sadler and spins him. Elliott Sadler is around and in the sand trap, drives his way through. Risky for Brennan Poole, costly for Elliott Sadler. Playoff point that will carry over as he comes to the checkers. Off of the final corner, Blake Cook is going to see the green and white checkered flag displayed, and he will win stage 1 at Mid-Ohio. That's kind of the marker that we've got for maybe the longest distance we've seen.
Yeah, and you can figure that at least a 2-to-1 here, so you can figure that would be like 35 green flag laps. Still doing a nice job of saving fuel in that respect. But these teams have that now to where they would be comfortable in getting that if they had to do it.
To the checkers and a stage 2 win for Sam Hornish for Team Penske.
They're going to go side by side into turn 5. Oh, and the 78 is off. Looks like he might be beached, Dave.
Stephen Young cannot get the 78 refired, as you see Lally keeping that position ahead of the 9 of William Byron. And we'll get set again. Something happened to William Byron on this last lap or two, DJ.
You can see he's been battling. Oh, yeah. Tap
Something
for
big
Ryan
happened.
Reed.
Well, we saw Ross Chastain challenging, and then Ryan Reed stuck his nose in there. And
well, it's that time of the day, Dave, that going to be a lot more giving.
A lot more taking?
Now, giving the bumper.
Parker, he's still there. Smith shutting the door, contact. And now contact from behind. The 48 of Brennan Poole gets into Blake Cook. He can't stop the spin. And now contact behind them. Carnage coming out of turn 5. And this is not what Blake Cook needed. One of the drivers on the bubble for the playoff,
Another Jeremy Clements right there. Ryan Reed.
Ryan Reed safe with that win. And Spencer Gallagher's 23 also heavy contact.
Car decided to stick his nose in there once again. That sent Blake Cook spinning.
Poole escapes. Kennedy escapes.
Yeah,
Reed, piled into by Gallagher, had nowhere to go.
Yeah, just nothing you can do. You can't see up there when you're going single file there and you're just gassing up and you're trying to get through there. And this is what will happen then.
You talked about those blind corners, and you're racing, right?
Yeah, looked like Ben Kennedy got a little damage maybe to the door. I don't know that it got into the right rear tire for him. They'll have to check that probably.
Give a listen here. I think we're going to hear some tires that are angry. Or sheet metal. Or a little of both.
Well, Blake Cook is on pit road.
Uh-oh. Off track. The 20 of Davison. The 62 of Gone is through to second. And the caution is out. That is Casey Mears. His car stopped near the back of the course.
Maybe he had something coming out of the back of the car. If it blew up, or yeah, you can see right here a lot of issues. It's either engine or transmission related.
A long day for that Biaggi-Denbesti group. They lost a car earlier today into the tire barrier. This is the backup. And now motor gone here to Pierce. 22 car down. Daniel Hemrick almost got into the back of him. And behind, big trouble. A huge wreck going out of turn number 1. That has been a trouble spot all afternoon.
My goodness.
Regan Smith is involved in the green car on the left. Justin Allgaier, who just came off a pit road with fresh tires, he is involved as well.
Caution still hasn't come out yet. I can't imagine why.
Trying to have a strong run here this afternoon. All got started around J.J. Yaley, Dylan Lupton, and the 39 of Ryan Sieg.
Yeah, I think William Byron was involved in that too, as I see from one of our other cameras. He's got a lot of front end damage.
They go through turn 1. Sam, like I say, Sam really had to woe it down to make that corner, DJ. Hemrick almost got into the back of him.
Yeah, I think William Byron might have started that spin right behind Elliott Sadler, and that's what triggered all of this, I believe. You can see the 9 car there right in the front of that. He's able to continue, but I believe it was him getting sideways there in turn 1.
And then it's Balicki who meets Lupton nose to nose. 5 of Michael Annett. I think he got it woed down. Yep, backing up now.
You can see the 9 car. But he was actually spinning across in front, actually going across to the other side.
Ryan Sieg took evasive action down to the right.
Looks like they're stopping him. We're going to put the red flag out here. As you can see William Byron right there. You can see him get sideways just behind Elliott Sadler. I don't know if they were all checking up because Hornish had slowed down so much. That's been the thing that he's done all day, is to make sure that he makes that corner and in control. There you see the 9 car sitting.
Kept in there. And Hemrick is a ways back. He'll have to hope for that mistake out of Hornish. But I don't see it coming. Coming through the final corners, lifting that left front. Now a right-hander through the carousel. And down to the final corners. Tires barking. Sam Hornish under control. The left-hander to the checkers. Sam Hornish is going to win at home in Mid-Ohio.
Well, we're going to jump in here with Sam. Sam, with the engine just ending, this is a huge day for you. I know you've won so many major races, but this one, you get a NASCAR victory at the track you grew up coming to. How significant is it to you?
Man, it's just super important having my family here and a bunch of friends. And this is a place that I think I finished second in about 3 or 4 other series here. So to finally be able to get the win, and with the luck that we had for our first 2 races with me being back at Team Penske this year, I was wondering how today was going to turn out, but man, the car's been good ever since we unloaded off the truck and just had a pretty smart, almost flawless day for the most part. Feel bad for the 62 there. Got cleared and moved up on him a little bit, and you know, Brendan's always raced me good, so I didn't want to beat him that way. So just real happy with the discount tire Ford Mustang.
Gleam in his eye, Dave. He's a big winner here at his home track.
Race fans, it is time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome retired University of Michigan hockey coach, Red Berenson.
Drivers, start your engines.
Fire all when you're ready. Fired up.
For the second time, final time here at Michigan International and at NASCAR's fastest track, it's time to bring the action. With us at Michigan International as door-to-door goes Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, the pole man. Brad Keselowski has taken off.
Kevin Harvick making that bottom lane work to get second. That's something we did not see here in the spring.
How about Ryan Blaney in that red and white 21? As you mentioned, keep an eye on him, Lee. Well, he was on the outside 3 wide on the first set of corners, inside 3 wide
2017 season looks pretty good at the moment. He's got enough distance over Kevin Harvick down the back stretch. The way that he told Chris Devoda, Dale Jarrett and Kyle Petty earlier, if he can win today, it would be the biggest win of his career. Well, he's a third of the way there almost. Stage 1 done. And the win to Brad Keselowski.
How about that side-by-side battle with Chase Elliott and Martin Truex Jr.? Chase beat him by inches.
I don't know what happened to this race car. It's just all over the place right now. Loose, then tight, then loose. He said it was just like in an instant, seemed to go away from him, the handling.
Off, it's shut off. Everything's off.
Derek Cope may bring out the caution. I don't know if he'll make it all the way back. He's being told by the spotter he can turn in turn 3, meaning there's an access point that NASCAR tells the spotters, hey, you can turn in turn 3 and actually go into the infield and they'll come get you. So turning in right here will make it so NASCAR may not have to throw the caution.
Watkins Glen winner. I asked his crew chief Cole Pern the other day, what was all the fuss about? What was all the worry with the lack of fuel at the end of Watkins Glen? He said, yeah, surprised even us how much he had left at the end. Stage 2 goes to Martin Truex Jr. An extra playoff point, which now makes it, what, 35 playoff points? It's incredible how he just continues to rack them up. Well, you saw that in non-stop, but this is huge. Casey Kane, and look at that Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. Daniel Suarez in the 19 was involved as well. How did it happen? Oh.
Well, I'm not clear. It's not clear to me if Casey thought he was clear and was trying to go up the racetrack to get in front of the 19, or if
still pretty far back in the corner. I'm not sure if he was steering it up or if he was chasing the car up. This will be a good view on board with Daniel Suarez. You hear Daniel out of the gas. He knows the 5 is coming up, and he knows the 5 isn't clear. He tries to lift out of the gas, but it's too late, and the 5 comes across his nose.
I think the 5 got free. I think the 5 got loose underneath him and just lost control of his car and turned back up into the 19. That's what it looked like to me. Pit road.
Wipe us out, or what happened there? We kind of just come across our nose. I don't know if I cleared him too quick, or he kind of just come across our, like he was trying to get back in line and just hit our.
Well, it's not always clear exactly what happened. You know, we have the luxury of slow motion, and obviously the two get together. It looks like to me the 5 car was coming up the racetrack. I'm assuming he was a little bit free and just couldn't get the car turned. We heard the in-car camera. Daniel Suarez was out of the gas trying to create space. Daniel with a big hit on that inside wall.
And there's another one. You saw him take his hands off the wheel. We showed you those in-car. Watch this. Have a listen.
Hold it right here, bud. We just got wrecked here.
Such a promising day.
5 car passed us, slapped the fence. How's your right side, Daniel?
And we took you around for a long time. See him going around. We've got a caution. Michael McDowell, Paul Menard.
Okay, rolling here. Just lock it down. Lock it down.
Lee, I told you. You mentioned that overtime line.
There is the guy who has completed 99.1% of the laps of the season, higher than anybody else, Michael McDowell.
We're here, don't tear it up.
What went down between himself and Paul Menard? Let's have a look.
You see Paul Menard underneath Michael McDowell. Same thing we've seen all day. You're just underneath another car, side by side. You just do not have the grip. All the air gets pulled off your car. Paul Menard just got up the racetrack and got into the side of him. We've seen this over and over and over. They haven't all ended in wrecks, but there's been many close calls.
Man, they are fast here. That thing goes sideways. It's still close to 200 miles an hour.
He's on the brakes and just still makes contact. So another restart, another shot.
And look, based off that last restart, Kyle Larson made up 3 positions and was flying. I think he got halted by Elliott somewhat, so he may have something. All Furniture Row, front row. Watch for that target car of Kyle Larson entering the Geico restart zone. Let's go! Larson's trying to split him. He's in between the 2 Toyotas. He bounces off Martin Truex Jr. right in front of Matt Kenseth, and he's on the low line. Kyle Larson with a blinding restart. Has Truex got anything for him down the back straight? Trevor Bayne in the 6-2. What a great start from the Roush Fenway driver. Here at 2:45 this morning after coming second in Knoxville. There is no second place here. Kyle Larson coming to the line with Truex chasing, will win his 3rd time in a row here in Michigan.
Yeah, good job, guys. Hell of a job, buddy. I want a show like you've never put on before here. I'm so proud of you.
And all the excitement, all this excitement with Kyle Larson and his team, dejection with Matt Kenseth and his team. So Matt Kenseth on the bottom of 3 wide. He must have had a tire go down. He is going to finish in 24th position.
Where it didn't look that promising, and in the end, he brought it home. The team told him, I want to see a show like never before, and he's putting it on. And this moment presented by Sunoco, fueling victories all season long. Storied weekend. Here's Rutledge Wood. He's right there.
Kyle Larson burning it down at the start-finish line. 3rd in a row here at Michigan. That restart was everything. Kyle, how did you do that?
I have no idea. I was running a few options through my head and of what to do if I got a good jump, and that was one of them. And it worked out perfect. So I can't believe it happened. We were struggling all day. Definitely not as good as we were the last 2 times we won here, but we persevered and had some good restarts right at the end.
What do you want to say to your fans right now?
This is
Chip Ganassi getting in there.
Just clocked me in the head there. I want to thank him for one, for finding me in 2011, bringing me up from USAC ranks to race for him. I want to thank all my fans as well. This has been an incredible week for me. to be able to go run the Knoxville Nationals yesterday, run second to Donnie Schatz, and then come here and win and beat Martin Truex, who is the Donnie Schatz right now. So definitely a week I'll never forget.
We'll see you in victory lane, buddy.
Thank you.